I want to tell you what my AI agents did last night before I went to bed. And maybe this will spark some ideas on how you think about how you get work done through AI agents. So I opened up Claude 20X Max, which gives you 20 times the Pro allocation. It's $200 a month, totally worth it. I have a MacBook Pro with 128 gigs of RAM because every little tab in Chrome takes about a gig of RAM. So I probably have 100 to 120 tabs that are open, 10 for me, and maybe 110 that are open by these agents. And then what I do is I tell these agents, I voice dictate to it. I say, I'm logged in to this client's website, and what I want you to do is grab all of their YouTube videos and run them through our article processor, reference the Blitzmetrics article guidelines, which it knows because we publish these things as articles so it can look at it. And I want you to turn them into blog posts and put them on the site, link those blog posts together with proper categories and tags. And then here's the objective of what we're trying to do. For example, Cody Jones sold his funeral home for 8 figures, and he wants to help more funeral home owners to be able to do that. That's who we're trying to attract, funeral home owners who want to know, what's my funeral home worth? How do I make it worth more? Then we give it the clear intent, we gave it access to the content, we gave it access to the tools that we want it to be able to use, and it goes to work while I'm sleeping. So while that agent's working, I have another agent. And I'll say, you know, Cody Jones, for example, which is what we did. Here's a book we want to be able to write. What is your funeral home worth? And we're going to put that on Funeral Home Exit. You know what? I just went to GoDaddy and I bought Funeral Home Exit. And with Funeral Home Exit, this is a tool that I want you to build. I want people to be able to come in and put their information in on how long they've owned their funeral homes, how many phone calls they get, you know, do they own their own equipment, these sorts of things. And I literally didn't have to give it any more information than that. And while I was sleeping, it built the website, it built the tool, it wrote the book, it did all of these other things. I even said, here's another friend of mine who runs an HVAC company. Go ahead and audit his website because we've got a meeting tomorrow to go over what we need to do and cover his rankings and cover our local service ads and whatnot and prepare that full report. And I'm not even trying to hide it. I literally tell the client, hey, you know what? I guided the AI agent to be able to produce all this stuff for us. What do you think? I don't think it's cheating. I think this is the way that we work with teams so that, you know, we used to do stuff where we'd have teams that work in the Philippines or in India. And so we get a double shift where we'd work during the day and then we give them stuff at night and they do the work. And then we'd wake up in the morning and people would say like, Dennis, I know we just had a conversation yesterday at 5. How did you get all this work done? And I'll say like, I have VAs that are in the Philippines and whatnot. Well, now I have VAs and they work from the country of OpenAI, from the country of Claude. And if you want to get more work done through AI agents, I'd recommend right now, use Claude 20X Max because last week I burned 150 million tokens. If I were to pay for that through the API using Opus 4.6, the latest model, probably would have cost me $4,000, $5,000 in the last week. And I'm burning that every week. We have guys on our team that are running 2 Claude accounts. So it's 2 $200 a month memberships. Why? Because it's actually cheaper to do that than it is to try to run through the API. I've done the same thing on Perplexity, on OpenAI, on Gemini, to be able to try to get the same kind of work done. Right now I think Claude is better because ChatGPT has just run out of, OpenAI has just run out of servers. They've got 1 billion users, they just don't have the hardware, the electricity, the data centers, the chips to be able to work after 30 seconds. It just keeps timing out, running out of power. Maybe they'll be able to change that. Maybe X will become more powerful, you know, because Grok is building data centers in space and X was bought by X, or SpaceX bought X and all that kind of stuff. But this is what's working for me right now. This is what's working for our team members. People on our coaching program are seeing tons of results because they're employing agents to do the work while they sleep, while I'm out and about, you know, before I'm gonna go out to dinner, before I'm gonna go work out, I just instinctively want to get my agents working, get them busy doing stuff. Because then, while I'm having fun and hanging out with friends and all that, I know my agents are working. And if you're one of those sorts of people where you're at a dinner or whatever and you sneak off to the bathroom to really just check emails and texts, I go to the bathroom and I go to my phone and I see how my agents are doing and I give them a little feedback, just like you would with other human agents. And then I can go back to whatever I'm doing. Could be a whole day of skiing or whatever it might be. And I don't have to feel guilty about working on my business because I know I've got teams of agents that are working. Imagine what that power would be where you've got 10 different agents. My buddy Ryan Lucia just bought today a 128 gig MacBook M5 Max so that he can get that work done. And he's an agency owner. He still is employing all his people and helping his people learn how to use agents, which means they have to go from worker and a manager level mindset. If this is appealing to you, you want to learn more how to use AI, how to actually implement agents, how to actually use this in your business and not to be afraid of whatever the next coming change or whatever it is, come check out my YouTube channel. I've got the Marketing Mechanic every week. We drop new episodes on the whiteboard from direct experience that I'm showing you. And if you want time with me one-on-one or time in our group with other people that are learning how to actually apply AI, we have a coaching group. Come check it out. Let me know. There's no better time than right now. And if this is the signal you're waiting for, let this be your sign.